Hey everybody, Tommy here, World at War Comics, and we got a lot of news on the Absolute Universe from DC, which is really exciting. And also, we saw some posts from Scott Snyder, and of course, DC has released information on a new event that will be taking place in this October called DC KO, which sounds pretty fun, if I am honest. So I'm really excited. I think Absolute has been a breath of fresh air. Nothing like seeing in the top 10 comics in any given month where three or four Absolute Universe titles are taking up some of those spots from a DC fan perspective, which I love Marvel, but DC has always been my favorite universe. To be able to see DC kind of winning right now in comic books, at least when compared to Marvel, I'm very excited for. I want everyone to succeed, but I love DC Comics and I love those characters. So to be able to see them do what they're doing is just mind blowing, to be quite honest. So Scott Snyder, obviously we know, started off with Batman. We got Jason Aaron over on Superman, and it was followed by Kelly Thompson with Wonder Woman. All three of those titles are doing extremely well. We did get Flash, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter will be returning in December. So there will be five that are ongoing with Martian Manhunter coming back in December for another arc. So really good stuff going on over at Absolute for the DC universe. But we got some more news coming out of DC pertaining to DC Absolute Universe, and that is one shots. So let's start from the top here. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll just go through this together because this is really cool news and I'm all in for it because I think Absolute is doing a lot of great things for not just comic books, for DC. So we will be getting as a one shot. One of the first ones is called Absolute Evil. Let's take a look at it. Sounds pretty awesome, almost like a Justice League of villains. But Absolute Evil 1 will feature a story about the rising tide of villainy in the Absolute Universe. It'll be written by Al Ewing with some art by Giuseppe Cumincoli and Stefano Nessi. There'll be a bunch of variant covers. So if you are a variant cover collector, even a foil one by Rossmo, you're gonna love what's going on with this title because there's a lot of really cool stuff going. In Absolute Evil, we'll have Raza Ghul, Veronica Cale, Hector Hammond, Eleanor Thawne, and a mysterious Joker who are no longer working at cross purposes. Together, they're aligned, united, and dangerous. But some insidious betrayal from within threatens to unravel everything that they've built. This one-shot special will feature the introduction of not one, but two major Absolute characters who will change the course of the Absolute Universe in its second year. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this. Cannot wait to read this. Again, I believe it hits October 1st. So I would hit your comic book shops, let them know that this is coming and you want this in your pool because it sounds pretty awesome. We got Absolute Batman Annual 1. This one I'm really excited about because this will be led by Daniel Warren Johnson himself, one of my favorite creators. So it gets into it. Absolute Batman 2025 Annual 1 will feature stories about Absolute Batman written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, James Herron, and Meredith McLaren. The issue will have a main cover, which is this one right here, done by Daniel Warren Johnson. Love his art, love his storytelling, with variants by Nick Dracota, James Herron, and Meredith McLaren, which will be the 1 in 25. How did Bruce acquire his Batmobile? What happened with Black Mask's crew tangled with Bat in those few days? DC Absolute 2025 Annual delivers insight into the raw formative chaos from Absolute Batman's earliest days. So this sounds pretty cool. Glad they're doing it with Batman. I think that's the right title to do an annual, and I'm all in for that. That will be in my box as well. And then if you're not reading Absolute Batman right now, which I'm a couple issues behind, I'm really enjoying the storytelling. It's outrageous, it's bombastic, and I love everything about it. Absolute 13 is the final showdown between Batman and Bane. That has been incredible with all the crap that they got about the way Bane looks. I think it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it is ridiculous, but I'm loving every minute of it. And I am in love with Nick Dracota's art. It's just fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. So, Absolute 13, Batman 13 will feature a story written by Scott with art by Nick. The issue will also feature variant covers, and you can kind of go through all that. I'll put the link below so you can check it out. But it's Batman's final confrontation with Bane, which threatens to trap him in Arkham forever. In the aftermath, new figure steps onto Gotham stage. Oh, and Absolute Catwoman debuts in this pivotal issue. So, yeah, this will be in my box for sure. Really excited about this. And if you have been enjoying it, or if you've been waiting for the trade to come out, there'll actually be a hardcover coming out and a soft cover coming out that will collect issues 1 through 6. So I know some of you wait for the trades, which makes perfect sense. Absolute Wonder Woman 13 has been a lot of fun with Kelly Thompson on writing duties, which has been great. And then Hayden Sherman on art. It looks like with 13, we will have art by Mateus Bergara. And I'm not sure if I remember if that is the same artist when Hayden had taken a couple issues off, if Mateus wasn't the artist that stepped in. I thought so. But either way, Kelly and Hayden have done an amazing job on Absolute Wonder Woman. I'm really enjoying that story. In fact, I talked to Kelly 2 days ago, and we are working after San Diego Comic Con to have Hayden and Kelly on the podcast to talk about all the success around this title. So I'm all in for that. And then also a trade will be coming out that will collect issues 1 through 7 in August, and there'll be a hardcover and a softcover version of that. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Absolute Superman 12 in the crosshair of Raza al Ghul. Again, I've enjoyed this one as well. Jason Aaron writing duties, Rafa Sandoval on art, all kinds of great cover art. You could look at that right there. Looks dope. Superman must choose bend to Ra's al Ghul will and accept his place as the son of the demon, or Smallville suffer, or see Smallville suffer. So this has been a lot of fun. Lazarus Corp has been pretty cool. Let me know what your thoughts are on this as well, and you will be getting a trade that collects issues 1 through 6 in August. Then we get Absolute Flash 8. This has been a surprise for me. I've actually enjoyed this as well. It's been written by Jeff Lemire, which I'm a big fan of, with art by Travis Moore, but all kinds of covers as well. The origins of Fort Fox and Barry Allen's experimental tech finally service, but what they reveal will change everything. Barry knows about speed, consequence, and the foundation of the Absolute universe itself. Again, in December, you will get the trade. So if you're waiting for the trade, that will be out in December. Been great. And then we kind of end with Absolute Green Lantern, the truth of the Absolute Oa. I'm behind on this one. I am a big Green Lantern fan, but there's just been a lot of comments coming out. I have been collecting them, and it is in my pull box, but I'm like 3 or 4 issues behind, so I need to jump on that. Sometimes I collect them and wait for like 6 issues, and then I read them, but I will definitely be jumping on this. Al Ewing is writing with Janoy Lindsay on art, all kinds of variant covers. The Black Stars are coming, and Earth is in their path. Only Tomorrow stands between their cosmic ambition and the final unraveling of what remains of Absolute Oa. Again, in December, you will get your hardcover or softcover version of the trade. Been a lot of fun. Absolute Manhunter will return. So if you really enjoyed 1 through 6, issue 7 comes back with a brand new arc. So if that was your jam, which I enjoyed it, I thought it was trippy and interesting. It's been fun, and it's going to return in December. So if you're a big Absolute fan, here you go. So it's a great time to jump in if you haven't jumped in yet. But yeah, there is going to be a lot of really cool stuff there. All right. We also got other news, and I heard this from Scott Snyder on X and everywhere else that he's been posting. And then obviously it's been all over, if you're a comic book fan, all the different feeds. But there is a new, let me pull it up real quick here. Bear with me. There is some big news coming out of DC about a new event that will be hitting comic shops this October, and it is called DC Comics KO. And it sounds actually a lot of fun. It will be a 5 issue Superman centered event. And it will be written by Scott Snyder, Joshua Williamson, with Javi Fernandez on art. The story features a 36 hero knockout tournament across the DC universe, transforming Earth into a battle arena. Heroes compete to generate enough Omega energy to challenge Darkseid and crown a new King Omega. Major tie-ins include Justice League, the Omega Act, Titans, Superman, Justice League Unlimited, and The Flash. So I'm liking this. This sounds actually like a lot of fun. So I cannot wait to read it. I'm a fan of Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson. So let's see what takes place. It says we're following DC. So when this will follow DC All In with a new Superman event called DC KO, 5 issue series starting in October and running into 2026, a knockout way to emphasize the fighting aspect of the DC universe. The event will see 36 fighters across the DC universe in a knockout tournament, with the winner of each fight going on to fight the winners of other fights. With the Earth now a 5 level gladiatorial arena, with all the effort going towards a noble cause, creating enough Omega energy to take on Darkseid and create a new King Omega, a celestial being toward whom the universe bends, and a little like the human race in Grant Morrison and Mark Miller's Flash comics. So there will be some spin-offs, and the spin-offs will include Justice League. So we mentioned that there will be some other titles. The Omega Act by Joshua Williamson and Yasmin Putri as a prologue that will take place on October 1st, followed by Titans 28 by John Layman and Pete Woods, Superman 31 by Joshua Williamson and the great Dan Mora, and then Justice League Unlimited by Mark Waid and Dan Mora, which, man, that's a lot of Dan Mora, and I don't think you could get enough of Dan Mora. And then the Flash 26 by Mark Waid. And it says not Siberia, so that's interesting. And Christopher Cantwell with art by Vasco Gorgiev. So a lot of fun. Here are some of the yeah, can you tell which one is the Daniel Warren Johnson one? If you ever read Do a Power Bomb, which if you haven't, one of the best comic books I've ever read. But you can see his DC KO cover on the right there. We have one on the left. So you can see all the different covers that will be making up this 5 issue series. But it sounds awesome, man. It sounds awesome. I cannot wait for this. Scott Snyder said he wanted to tell a story about Superman looking into his own heart of darkness. It's a very personal story wrapped up in 9 layers of candy exploding in your face. Each level is a new challenge, and the tournament will reveal unexpected heroes. Some you won't believe will go really far in fights, according to Joshua Williamson. The first issue will be a 48-page, $5.99 the cover. And the first issue for the 8th of October will have an overlay with the KO logo over the full cover art with variants by, I mean, you get Jim Lee, Daniel Warren Johnson, Frank Cho, Scott Kiblish, Jay Lee, Mike Del Mundo, Ben Oliver. A lot of just really cool stuff, man. You could check that out. But yeah, this looks excited. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on everything that's happening at DC. Do you agree with me? Has DC just taken it to another level? I feel like they are just pumping out amazing titles, which I'm so excited about. Everything that they're doing on this side of the business is great. I saw Superman. I'll be honest with you, I really liked it. I took my kids. My kids normally don't go to these type of movies with me. I took my wife, who is not interested in comic book at all, anything related to comics. My oldest daughter and I are usually the ones that go see these type of movies. She's not into comics, but she's into comic book movies, and we all walked out of there and we loved it. So there's a lot of really good things going on for DC right now, and I'm really excited as a DC fan to see this going. I would love to know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you agree with me? Is DC just banging on all cylinders right now? I feel like they're doing a lot of really good stuff to ensure that fans are absolutely engaged. Not only that, some of the other things that DC has done, which has been absolutely fabulous, is these compact issues. I got about 13 of them so far. I've been collecting these, and I travel a lot for work. In fact, I'm traveling this afternoon to Bentonville, Arkansas for a Walmart meeting, and I throw those in my backpack and I read them on the plane. I just love them. I have been picking up the Marvel versions of those. So if you haven't picked those up yet, they're called the Marvel Premiere a collection. This one is the Fantastic Four, Jonathan Hickman. series. I have the Ed Brubaker Captain America Winter Soldier. What else do they have? There's a few other. I think they have four out so far. But man, if you love condensed stories in a format that you could kind of carry with you, I think DC is doing it better out of the two. But Marvel is a little late to the game, but they're jumping in and they're bringing some really good titles, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, I'm happy as a DC fan. I couldn't be happier. Congratulations to Jim and everybody over at DC. This is, I think, what fans want, and they're producing at a high level. And I could not be happier as a DC fan. All right, let me know what you think below. Make sure you subscribe and like, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.